I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what's going on with this streaming on shit, man, but it be tripping out, man. I want to salute everybody who's in here, man. Salute. I'm Eli.
Now I'm Eddie, and we
And we
gave me
gave it
takes.
takes. Dang, what I was about to say. Oh yeah, go ahead, Eddie. Get your shit over, bro. Get your shit over.
First topic on the first topic here today.
Nah. Just nah. We not gonna get straight to the topic. Just I don't even know. Shit.
All right. So
You
just
know the real spill that we be giving. You know, hit the like button, shit like that.
oh yeah. So
Tell them about our platforms.
yeah.
XYZ.
We're nearing 130 subs on YouTube. You know, we appreciate all of that. We've hit 20 followers on Facebook, and we've seen the love. We've been getting a lot of love on Facebook. We've seen back-to-back streams. We put like 500 plus views on both streams back to back. The first one 1.2K, the next one 600. So we see that and we appreciate that. TikTok has been a little slow. We haven't been uploading too much videos on there or Instagram, but we're gonna get back. Of course, you know we are regular humans, so we got a lot of other things to do as well. So, but yeah, we gonna get back to what Game It Takes naturally is. So we gonna get back to what we normally do, yeah. So
Absolutely, man. I want y'all to hit the like button, man. We haven't been as I want to say we did go live a couple times, but we haven't been dropping much shorts and videos as we usually do. But we will be getting back to that. YouTube has not been really friendly to us with the algorithm, but we gonna make it through that. As long as y'all keep hitting the like button and supporting our channel, we gonna be on our way up. Also, what did I want to say? Shit, I was about to say something. Damn. Just make sure I hit the like button, man. That's all I pretty much gotta say. We got a good show for y'all today, man. Hey, it's we about to cook on a lot of stuff, especially what happened on Undisputed. We gotta talk about it. I gotta get my 2 cents. I don't know how Eddie feel about it, but I know I got a lot to say about that, and we gonna start the show about that. So hold on, let me make sure I'm not interrupted while we get this going on. All right. So Eddie, I know you've seen Undisputed.
oh yeah, for sure.
Before I go, I think it's fitting now. I think you go because I think I'm gonna end it with a bang. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think I'm probably more emotional about this than you are. But what's your take on what Skip Bayless did on Undisputed to Shannon Sharp?
It's honestly disgusting as a human being to do something like that to someone you would classify as a friend, yo. Like, I would feel very offended if I'm, Shannon Sharp. I would have walked off, and I would have probably never came back because you're not about to sit here and disrespect what I've done in a professional sport, especially of a sport as physical as football. You're not about to downplay a person who plays defensive line compared to a person who plays QB. You're not about to sit here and do something like that. Yes, although Tom Brady is the GOAT, they play two different positions. Tom Brady's body is not being put on as more as a line as a defensive lineman who's always taking physical contact, and what Shannon Sharp was. On top of that, Shannon Sharp is also in the Hall of Fame and won 3 championships, so it's not much you can really say about him. You may say, oh, you're not better than Tom Brady, but what he was doing was just picking on Shannon Sharp and saying, oh, I'm gonna celebrate him, or I'm gonna support him because he's the greatest of all time. What does that mean, bro? Shannon Sharp is your friend, bro. You picking someone who probably don't even know who you are over your actual friend, man. That is honestly disrespectful, man. And you're trying to basically belittle someone who has more knowledge of the game of football than you just because you're older or you've watched longer. That doesn't mean anything. Shannon Sharp actually went out there and played the sport. Skip, he did track. No offense to anyone who did track, but like you trying to say more than the game of someone who actually put their body on the line, not week in, week out, and played. Come on, bro, don't do that. That's something that offended me, and I'm pretty sure it would probably obviously it offended you as well because we're athletes, bro. We play, we still are into the sports that we were playing when we were kids or younger. So we understand that if someone tries to downplay what you do, we understand how offended that makes us feel, and that any athlete should know that isn't right what Skip Bayless did. And the fact that people already don't like Skip Bayless and he went out and did that, come on, man, it's going to look even worse for him. He doesn't deserve to be on that show anymore. People will do cancel culture on other things, I feel like Skip should be off the show for something like that.
Right, but over there on ESPN, they like the buffoonery, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate and say, oh, it's for the views, and you know, like you know,
Yeah.
somebody whispered in my ear, or whatever. But if it wasn't for the views, that was disgusting, bro. If the situation called for that, I would get what's his name, Skip Bayless doing that. The situation called for that. If it absolutely called for him doing that, then I'll be like, all right, it ain't that bad. But they talking about a player who is active right now, who is not playing well, who Skip loves to talk negativity and loves to not players who are not playing well at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to his precious players that he holds so near and dear to his heart, he gets offended. And he brings up this man's career, balls it up, and throws it away like it was nothing. Right? But you weren't, in your respective sports, Skip Bayless, you weren't as good as Shannon Sharp was. You know?
Respectfully.
He was a better football player than whatever you ever was, a runner, whatever you want to call it, track star, whatever. You know? You take the time as a person who you vouch for this man to be on your show. You vouch for Shannon Sharp to be on your show. And I gotta say this about Shannon Sharp. There's been a lot of times where I feel like you should have stood up for yourself and you haven't. You always, you know, I don't want to say bow down and Skip, but you don't like to let the conflict escalate. And that's I gotta give him credit for that. That's part of his maturity level, more so than Skip Bayless, who was older than him. But I think this was the time for you to be like, okay, bro, you're not finna do this. Let me show you that I'm an integral part to this show, that I'm needed on this show. You know what I'm saying? Because Skip Bayless, you weren't needed on First Take. Let's get that out the way.
That's why
they cast you out for this show. You know what I'm saying? This is the B-list show, the First Take. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? They cast you out. So for you to take your time to disrespect somebody you call your quote-unquote friend, right? You vouch for them to be on your show. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you do? Man, I'm not surprised at all anyway. You know what I'm saying? This man is a clown. He's a culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? He's always trying to act like he's still young and you're not, bro. You know, he got his little chain and his little Jordans. I should have got the picture of him posing, cocking his leg up like this. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to do that to him. But I do got a video that I want y'all to see, though, this man getting exposed by Jalen Rose. I want y'all to hold on. Hold that thought right now because I got that. I had to really gather that video for y'all to watch. Here it is.
The positions were only created so a novice could follow the game. Just because you're a power forward, that doesn't make you physical. Just because you're a shooting guard, that don't mean you can jack up threes. That's just
what were
a
you,
position.
Jalen? What were you?
What were you? Did you
what
average,
were you?
Did you average 1.4 points as a senior in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so all of that Pistol Pete stuff, Pistol Pete Jr.
Okay, well, we'll address that later. We're going to.
Don't ignore that. Did you play junior?
Yeah.
Did you play JV as a junior?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sometimes the debate can get personal based on the person's tone. So if I hear somebody saying something negative about me to attack my credibility as a person and as a player, something that I invested 20 years in playing middle school, high school, college, pro, I'm invested in this. Like, my father was the #1 pick, God rest his soul, in the 1967 draft. Like, I dedicated my life to basketball. So if I feel like somebody wants to cross the line and challenge how I feel about the game, I study this, I do this, I took it personal. And that's what happened yesterday in our debate. And name calling. Like, when you name call, that makes it personal. Bosh Spice, Queen James.
Now, time out. No.
Now that crossed the line.
I don't do Queen James. I've never done Queen James.
It's Prince James.
Prince James. Yeah.
Same.
Okay. But I invited anybody, including you, to come sit there and let's talk this out. Did Chris Bosh come and sit there? Did he? Yes.
But
yes.
You got to take their side of it. Them coming to sit here really validates you. It really validates your show because you talk negative about.
And there it is. There it is. Eddie, I don't know it's on your camera, but there it is, bro.
It's up. I just put it more up, that's all.
Yeah, I can't see you. Yeah, but there it is. Skip Bayless getting checked for what he just did the other day. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Rose came at him. And I don't know why Shannon Sharp didn't do the same thing, but I guess, like I said, he knows how to control himself. He knows how to, put his pride to the side for the betterment of the show. Hey, we seen him the next day on the show. It was like water under the bridge. They must have spoke about it, you know, apologies or whatever the case may be. But you do that to me on national television, bro. We gotta do a lot more than apologizing and all that, man. You're not finna disrespect my character, assassinate my character on a show whereby we both, you know, we're co-hosts on the show. That's like if Eddie was to really disrespect me on our show. You know what I'm saying? That you just don't do stuff like that. It's certain lines you just don't cross. He crossed that line on national television. You know what I'm saying? That's not even the equivalent to what our show is not even equivalent to what that is. So that is just on a totally different level. Skip Bayless is just disgusting, man. And it's going to continue because that's what ESPN like. They love stuff like that. They love this man because he would have been going all the stuff he's done over the years. Criticizing LeBron James' son, who's 18 years old. Criticizing his youngest son. All for years. Made his career off of talk about LeBron. Literally. Whether it was clout chasing or not, just made his career off of nut chasing this man, bro. Nut hanging this man, bro. Literally. But we're not gonna spend too much on this topic because he don't deserve too much shine on it. You know, he doesn't deserve too much more shine on it. Eddie, your camera's still off.
It's off?
Yeah, try to log out and come back in. Like exit out the app and come back in. But yeah. When Eddie come back, we gonna move on to the next topic, bro. Like I just had to address the Skip Bayless situation, bro. Him doing that to Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe, like I said, he needed to stand up for himself a lot earlier than that. He did the best he could to stand up for himself, but I think he could have did more, bro. He got a lot to say about other stuff. Who he would do to this. Oh, he'll do this to KD and all this. Oh, I'm older than you and all. But when it came to Skip Bayless, you know, he couldn't say nothing, man. I don't know. Maybe them checks are just too good that he couldn't disrespect the man. I don't know, but I know what I would have did. You know what I'm saying? He can't be wanting for money that bad. You had a pretty good career. I'm sure you made enough money, but that's his livelihood, so I can't really say much on that, bro. That's up to him. There we go. We got Eddie back in here. There you go. All right, so what we got next is, you know, exiting off of that disgusting topic. I think we're gonna go Damian Lillard, bro. Damian Lillard's choke jobs, bro.
Yo, this ain't something I need to pick up a book for or even go back and look, because I done looked at this so many times and tried to plead and beg and tell people that Damian Lillard is just an overrated player in the playoffs. I mean, especially when it comes to playing the Warriors. And I know, you know, people might think, oh, these guys always had the better team. Okay, so when we look down the fact, right, and we say, oh, if Dame had a better team, he would have won. So when we look down the fact that Dame has played poorly every single chance he got against these Warriors, man. He's 0-12 against Steph Curry himself. He only has one win against the Warriors, one single win. So, and then the fact that it came down to he's never played the Warriors with Kevin Durant. So I want to get that out the way. He never even got a chance to play the Warriors with Kevin Durant in 2019, which he should have been able to play. Kevin Durant was actually out in the WCF due to injury, which ended up leading to his Achilles injury. So he didn't manage to get one win. And what he managed to do was hold Steph Curry to 37 points per game. And Steph Curry ended up having the most points scored in a 4-game sweep. So Damian Lillard he's the defense that these guys say that he plays. He didn't play at that series. And that was the same year he had and there was so much hype behind that because that was the same year he had the step back 3 on what was it, Paul George from half court.
Right. Yeah, Russ.
And there was so much hype behind that playoff year that he wasn't even able to do none. He ended up shooting 40 from the field in that series. And he has, I believe, 2 or 3 playoffs shooting like under 40 from the field. So not just a series, a whole entirety playoffs, he has shooting under 40 from the field. And it's not like he never had no help. I mean, CJ McCollum's a pretty good scorer, and Nurkic is a very good rim protector. Not saying it's championship worthy, but it's not like it doesn't explain for all the losing he has been doing. One WCF in all these years he has doesn't make up for anything. I mean, yeah, I'll give him some flowers for now for how he's playing in the regular season. I mean, he did the same thing last year, the year before that, but he also didn't do too well in the playoffs last year and the year before that. I mean, last year he played pretty decent against Jokic, but other than that, he hasn't had a good playoff run in recent memory. So Damian Lillard, he goes from clutchest in the league in the regular season to a bust. A bust who takes 1 billion shots per game.
Look, I ain't gonna go as far to say all that, but I will say,
Hold on, Eli. Appreciate the new follow. We appreciate that.
Appreciate it, much appreciated. Yeah, I ain't gonna go as far to say all that, but I will say, Damian Lillard, I can't agree with you on that last point you made. Damian Lillard, he goes from this grade A clutch player in the playoffs to when he's facing the Warriors, it's like, it's always an excuse for him. Oh, he lacks this, he lacks that, he lacks this. But when the opportunity was in his hands in that last series against Golden State, 2019, no KD, this is your time to shine, right? Is it or is it not? And you don't shine. You don't live up to that expectation that they're throwing on you. And when you don't do that, a person like me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cook you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get the same treatment that James Harden got from me when he does all that fancy, cute stuff in the regular season. And then when the regular season is over and it's time to really show what you're made of, we know James Harden is made of paper mache.
Hold on,
glass chin.
Look at the comment made by the new follower.
Dame lucky he not in big media market. They would have roasted him already. ESPN concentrating on Braun, Steph, Draymond. I agree with that. But when he does get the praise, it's over the top. Oh, he's better than Steph Curry. Remember that, Eddie? He's the best point guard in the league. He only shot 40. He's the best three-point shooter in the league.
One season.
He only shot 40% from three one season. And they're losing their mind. They done forgot. Steph Curry had to come back. You know what I'm saying? Show them what it really is. And MVP season on top of that. But we ain't talking about all of them. Let me finish my point. But
to add on that.
Hold on. Let me finish my point. 2016, this is where it all started. 31.8 points per game. That's pretty good, ain't it, y'all? 36% from the field. Right? 43% from three. Right? 4-1. Got him out of there in 5.
Oh, to the Pelicans. I'm already knowing.
Right? No, this is against the Warriors.
Oh, the Warriors. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. 2017. The points the points are gonna decline as just pay attention. Stay with me. 2017, 27.8 points per game. Pretty good. 43% from the field. Not good, but not great neither. 28% from three. That's your best three-point shooter in the league, right? 4-0. Gone. Sweat. And, I think KD came back late in that series. I'm pretty sure he did. He came back late in that series, most definitely. So, you know how I feel about that, but that's a different story. 2019, you got no excuse, my boy. This is your time to shine. No KD. There's no excuse. There's no stigma. Oh, the Warriors, they're so unbeatable. I can't beat them. 2019, 22.3 points. Probably his worst statistical sheet against the Warriors, bro. 22.3 points, bro. 37% from the field, bro. And a whopping 36% from three. Average, slightly above average. Slightly. And 4-0, bro, with no KD. What's your excuse, Dame? And people want to cap for him. He's 1-12 against the Warriors. 1-12. 2016, 2017, and 2019. Those are 3 playoff series, bro. And you are 1-12. But you this, you know what I'm saying? So where's the heat for Damian Lillard? Where was this heat? Because I seen him get the praise for the Russell Westbrook and Paul George getting them up out of there. But where was the criticism when he pooped himself against the Warriors in 2019? Where is it, Eddie? Because I'm not seeing it nowhere on this paper. I'm not seeing more than 1 win on this paper out of 12 games. What's going on? Explain to me. Can you help me out here? Am I bugging?
I want to add a little bit back onto that. Going back to 2020. Okay, so we know Steph goes down with the arm injury. So okay, Damian Lillard probably is the front runner for guard, but then you throw Luka Doncic into the discussion and what he did, even in the playoffs, man, his first ever playoffs, what he did there. Then you go look at Trae Young averaging 30 and 10 in the regular season. So it's not like Dame was the clear-cut best point guard. And then to come back the next season, simply gets outplayed by Steph. Then I want to go on to the fact that if Dame's such this great point guard, I believe 2018, I could be wrong, but I know through the years of 2017 or 18, he loses to Drew Holiday and he gets outplayed by him, man. Drew Holiday, this isn't Bucks. Drew Holiday developed, still a good player in New Orleans, but he gets outplayed by Drew Holiday. This is the year Dame Lillard was first All NBA because Steph went down with an injury, only played 50 games in 2018, and Kyrie Irving also went down with an injury that same year. And Russell Westbrook is coming off his MVP season, which he put up another triple-double, which he probably should have been first All NBA that season. So Dame Lillard, he was voted as the actual first team All NBA point guard, meaning the league voted him as the best point guard in the league. So, and for him to get outplayed by a guy who didn't even make the All NBA, he didn't get outplayed by Kyrie, he didn't get outplayed by Steph, he got outplayed by Drew Holiday, man. Like, with him having the odds, because there's no DeMarcus Cousins, we all know he went down with his injury, so it's just AD and Drew Holiday there. Like, come on, bro. It's kind of sickening. You guys really do give him, I love Damian Lillard. He does deserve praise, but the praise that you guys give him, it's overboard, man. You guys like to call him a good point guard defender as well. Well, he can't even guard these certain guys. And then you want to talk about how he's a good three-point shooter. Well, in the playoffs, he decreases terribly. I believe he's like a career 34, 35 in the playoffs from the three. He decreases terribly. So it's like, come on, man. Like, we got to just stop just giving out credit just to give it out, man. Just because a guy can shoot the three real good and he can score a couple baskets.
Look, Damian Lillard, we ain't trying to take nothing away from him. We just give him constructive criticism like we do for all these players. James Harden, players that have so much talent that they have to get this criticism, bro, because we expect so much of them. It's no disrespect. It's just what it is. I never played the game, you know what I'm saying? But I hold these players to a high standard. And when they don't do what they're supposed to do, I cannot make excuses for them. That's just a sad reality. But I also want to say we dropped the link. If anyone wants to come up here and share their opinions with us, we dropped the link down there so y'all can come up here with us and talk. You know what I'm saying? Give your opinions, We ain't shying away for nobody giving their opinion. We respect everybody's opinion, and therefore y'all can share your opinion with us. But yeah, man, Damian Lillard, no disrespect, but I think where it really got out of hand and where I had to step in is where they started to say he's better than Steph Curry, and that's a flagrant to me. Steph has been doing this for a long time at a high rate. He had to come back and show people. I think the following year, all right, this is 2019, he was getting a lot of praise. 2020, Curry got injured. So 2021 is really where he made a statement with that MVP caliber season. He had 32-point scoring title. You know what I'm saying? Almost got his team in the playoffs. If it wasn't for the play-in format, he would have been in the playoffs. Then the following year, he won the championship. Just letting y'all know. So all that Dame stuff, people probably even going to forget they was praising Damian Lillard to that high order. You know what I'm saying? Because of what Curry did. He just knocked it out the water. Ain't no conversation about that no more. It won't ever be. It's just unfortunate, but I'm not hating on Dame. I hope he can, prove us wrong in the years to come. But as long as he on the Portland Trail Blazers, I don't know. The jury is out on them.
They're pretty good in the seating right now, but we know the NBA can change at any moment. So yeah.
Right. Like you told me, anything could happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I lose sight of that. I get carried away, but once my mind is set, it's set. But next we got Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, I told y'all, right? I told you, I'm sticking to my guns, bro. Joel Embiid is gonna win MVP, bro. It's a long 82-game season.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid can get into the conversation, and I think he's creeping into this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Joel Embiid is playing out of his mind. I don't know what's going on with James Harden. That's another story. It looks like right now he's carrying his team in many different ways, bro. Offensively, defensively. It's nothing he ain't doing. He's not doing everything. He ain't facilitating the ball, but everything that he can in his position, if you get what I'm saying, right? And his last, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, in his last 5 games, 35-11, 39-7, 38-12, 53-12, 31-7. He's slowly working himself back into a rhythm, And I will say this: 76ers, they may not be in conversations now, but I think they're good enough. They should be. I mean, they still got Tobias Harris. You know what I'm saying?
James Harden.
Tyrese Maxey, James Harden. I mean, in the beginning of the season, we kind of seen it started to shift with James Harden is starting to take over the team. I hope that doesn't happen again because he went crazy in his first couple games before he got injured. Am I right or am I wrong, Eddie? and it was looking like the team was trying to, and Joel Embiid wasn't playing well. I don't think the team needs to trend towards that because we know that ain't gonna win. You know, Joel Embiid, we know his style of play has shown that it's contributing to a long run for them to win a championship. But I think we didn't give we seen James Harden have numerous times to show us can that win or not. You know what I'm saying? But Joel Embiid, I think this is his time to let us see what he's really capable of. I think he has a pretty good squad to go deep in the playoffs. I personally don't think they will, but I think, you know, there's always a stigma out there, and there's something that they have a team whereby they could shock somebody, you know. That's the type of team they have. They have James Harden, like you said, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris. You know, I heard he may be on a trade block, but that's another story. All I will say is I think Joel Embiid is in the conversation. Nobody's talking about it. I think he might win an MVP. You know, what's your take on it?
I don't think it's crazy to say, but I don't think he's going to win MVP. That's just me. I think it's very respectable to put him in that conversation. He's been in it for 2 years straight, so it's not at all crazy to put him in there. But I hope he does keep up this play, so I don't have to keep criticizing the Philadelphia 76ers, you know, because we've been ripping them from years because they've had good team after good team after good team, and now they have, you know, two kind of notable choke artists on the team with James Harden and, you know, Joel Embiid, him being one as well. So I hope he can keep this up to the playoffs, because I did say last year that don't ever sleep on the 76ers, because I know James Harden has a chip on his shoulder. You know, I know he's personally tired of hearing the fact that he's a choke artist, in which, sorry, dude, you are. But, you know, I know you're tired of hearing it. And I know Joel Embiid is tired as well. He's trying to win a championship. You know, all these good seasons he has to go with, you know, mid playoff runs. So, you know, I did mention that don't count them boys out in the loss. Who did they lose to again? Last year in the playoffs, who did they lose to? It wasn't the Bucks.
It was the Heat, wasn't it?
Oh, my brother. Yeah, it was good, Kev.
It was the Heat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the Heat.
Yeah, it was definitely the Heat. They shouldn't be losing it to a team like that. I get Joel Embiid is injured, but you still shouldn't.
I don't say it like that. Now they did make it to the Western Conference. The Eastern Conference Finals, and they probably would have one of the best. They definitely would have one of the best defensive teams in the league.
No, yeah, for sure. I was arguing about that yesterday.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Offensively, you know, that's where the biggest weakness was for the Heat. But defensively, you know, they stopped the 76ers for real.
I forgot. I ain't gonna lie. But nah, yeah, they do have some of the best defense, you know, with Bam and Jimmy, of course. And PJ Tucker was on that roster still, but Philly just grabbed PJ Tucker from them. So they have a roster, and if they do get Tobias Harris out of there, I know a team is willing to, you know, trade a few common pieces to get Tobias Harris. So Philly, they could work with their guns. Like I said, I just previously said, don't count no one out. There's a possibility for them to win a championship too. I know you have two teams coming out the East. You know, it's either those two, but I feel like both sides is open up. Both, you know, Eastern and the Western Conference is open up to either championship. For a couple teams to win a championship. Right now, the convo is Joel Embiid and his recent play of lately. You know, that 53-point game was nasty. It was a great game. I caught the highlights to that game, and I loved how he was playing. Of course, he's a 3-level big man, which is very rare. Ever. You know, is some of the rarest play of all time. He's a 3-level big man. Give you in the mid range, give you in the post 3-pointer, and is a very good finisher. So, man, you know, I know.
Yeah. Oh, you still going good?
No. That was it. I said I know some people might not have no faith in them, but either I feel like it's a few teams, you know. But yeah, Joel Embiid should be doing more when it comes to the playoffs. I agree with that, because he does what he has to do. James Harden is passing the ball very good right now. He's not scoring as good as he's supposed to, which we haven't seen in 2 years, but he is passing the ball very well. Tyrese Maxey is getting his buckets.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so the Bucks. I don't think this is a question. This statement should be ended with a question mark because it's not a question. The Bucks have the best bench in the league, and what's confusing to me is, and I agree with that wholeheartedly that they have the best bench in the league. But what's confusing to me that when I watch the game, there's a difference between watching the game, reading off stats. We know that. When I watch the game, it's clear to me that they're the best bench in the league. When you look at the numbers here, they're not even in the I want to say this is like a top 10. They're not even in the top 10 offense off the bench. They're nowhere. They're nowhere near them. Wait, yeah, they're nowhere near it. So you look at that's very telling. They're on paper, not on paper. They're not what they look like on TV for real. Because on TV they're a monster. Giannis, we seen against Golden State in that game, had a slow start, but the Bucks were able to keep them in the game and more. And there's been a couple games like that this season. Their bench is steadily improving. Last year I don't think it's nowhere in comparison to what this year is going to be if this team keeps playing like this off the bench. Really, Brook Lopez doing this thing. A couple shooters they got. This Pat Connaughton is still there. Pat Connaughton.
Yeah.
I forget this dude's name. He a dirty player that I don't like.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen doing this thing. Sharpshooter. I got to give him that credit.
For sure.
All these guys. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Portis, of course.
Sometimes he starts.
But sometimes they intricate. They take him off the bench. They have multiple lineups. They're doing their thing, man. Brook Lopez, I think he's playing out of his mind this season. Miami's bench, they have a pretty good bench. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's on the level of what the Bucks are right now. Their bench is getting better because they've kept the same players on their team I want to say virtually for the past 3 years. They haven't really made too much roster changes, and that chemistry is making them play together even well, and it's making their bench better, if you get what I'm saying. But go ahead, Eddie.
Shoot, man, I do think the Bucks do have the best bench. I mean, you named off the names. I even see, I watched that game with the Bucks and the Warriors very, very closely. Lopez, a 3-point shooter. Yeah. I watched that game very closely because it ended up, we're losing to free throws. But also, I seen Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez just absolutely dominating the Warriors down low in the post, in the low post, and the far post from the three, from the mid-range, anywhere you name it, bro. Then I seen Grayson Allen. He went 6 for 6 that night, 3 for 3 from the three. Barely, he didn't miss any shots. Joe Carter was even out there hooping. I feel like he did a really good job on guarding Steph Curry. Steph Curry could barely hit a shot against the Bucks that night. So when I look at it, man, from top to bottom, these guys are stacked. Not with all-stars and superstars, but just with very good and efficient
players that fit well.
Yes, very good players that fit well and efficient. Shout out to Brook Lopez, man. He is the Nets all-time blocks leader, rebound leader, and points leader, man.
Yeah, he still is their points leader.
You said what?
He still leads them in points.
Yeah, he still leads them in points. This guy is very valuable, and I said years back, probably a year or two back, that it was a very good pickup. Of course, what team wouldn't want to have Brook Lopez? Probably the most underrated shot blocker in the league. When people bring up shot blocking, they think probably of the likes of course, Rudy Gobert, and a few other guys, maybe even Joel Embiid in that conversation and a couple other guys, but people don't like to bring up Brook Lopez a lot, and he, maybe because he's a slouch on the perimeter, and AD also in that conversation with guys they bring up mostly, but Brook Lopez be sending shots, man. I watch him get so many shots. He currently leads the league with most 5+ blocks games, leads the league in blocks as well. The Bucks lead the league in blocks in total as well. Then with Chris Middleton coming back and him being able to defend the perimeter and the interior, seeing him play good defense, these guys, man, New Orleans bench also is a very, very good bench. I want to shout out to them. But when you actually see and watch the Bucks play, man, I don't think there's a doubt that those guys are those guys just
and they could get hot like crazy.
Oh man,
everybody is benches Golden State for real. They could get crazy,
bro. Them guys, I believe they have the record for most threes. Well, 2 years back or a year back in 2021, they have the record for most threes hit in a game, I believe, by a team. And them guys can shoot the 3-ball, play defense. There's nothing they could do. Nets bench actually is an underrated bench. I could give credit to that because Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Patrick Mills, TJ Warren, a lot of guys coming off the bench from the Nets that can actually hoop, man. Like there's, I got to give credit to them. I would put them up there if, I seen those guys play more. But I'm always seeing the Bucks want to play. So go ahead, Eli.
And with this Bucks bench, with that, it's not just the names, It's not just the names that make it. It's the way they play together and the dominance that they have as a bench. I really, when I say this, I don't want people to take this out of context. But if you look at their bench is able to keep up probably with most likely a large percent of the NBA starting lineup, bro.
I say if you think about it. I believe it's a good 10 teams. Good 10 to 15 teams, which is a large percent.
And that's how you really know that your bench is not nothing to mess with. So that's how I'm looking at it. They really have a good bench. Like I said, what's that?
Right there. But guys, continue what you're saying. We talk about that.
But when you look at that, I don't see how the Bucks don't win the championship. You know what I'm saying? I know Eddie may think differently for whatever reason. They're
respectable. They were definitely respectable. I would never change the fact that they're respectable. I did call the Bucks winning early in 2020 for 2021. So I definitely respect the Bucks. It's no doubt in my mind that they're championship contenders. I just think that the East, just as much as the West is any, anybody could win out in the West. I think it's the same thing in the East because it's been happening the last few years. There's been a different East team in the finals going back to since LeBron left. So from, Cleveland, then we go 2019 with the Raptors, then 2020 the Heat. Then the Bucks, then the Celtics, that's all I'm saying, But yeah, Kev, with OG's I'm woo. OG is hooping, man.
And my bad, I had a little technical difficulty, man.
OG would be a good pickup for those guys. I'm woo.
All right, yeah. We gonna get to the comments. We gonna get to what he talking about because I definitely want to hear more on that. But Jason Tatum's biggest problems, bro. I think that got to be discussed, bro, because right now he's the leading candidate for MVP. He probably dropped off, but probably most likely not because of that game he had against the Lakers, monster game.
Very
probably kept him in it slightly. But what's your thoughts on Jason Tatum, man? We watched the 2 games where he just, wasn't good.
It wasn't a terrible game, but it wasn't good as well. As an NBA player, you might not shoot good from the field some nights. You might most nights. But at least you can try your best to get as much shots as you up to put as much points up on the board, play as much defense as you can, grab as much boards as you can. So Jason Tatum wasn't kind of doing any of that really. He was getting a few boards, but when you go from KD should be top 5 in MVP, but when you go from losing to the 20th best defense in the league, then one of the worst offenses in the league, it's kind of like, and almost losing to one of the worst teams in the league. It's like Jason Tatum has to go back to what he was doing the first couple games in the league. Yeah, I seen the Bucks lost to the Grizzlies. I seen Chris Middleton also do something that he should have done. But yeah, that was a good matchup, I heard. But yeah, Jason Tatum, I obviously had that monster performance, dropping 44. Jason is going to get that Dame comparison soon. 5 years in the league, can't put his team over the top.
You may disagree with that shit.
That's a hot take.
Whoever you are, man, I respect you for that. I'm not even a hot take. That's a really good take, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm a Jason Tatum fan. I can't lie. He needs to get on the horse, bro, for real, because they ain't gonna be making excuses for him. I'm not gonna be making excuses for him. But we gonna touch a lot more on the subject. But keep going, Eddie.
We just gotta slow down. I feel like Jason Tatum is doing the best he can. We got to give a little more hassle to the other guys as well, like Jaylen Brown. He also had a bad game. Wait, Tatum comparison good?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm confused. He is one of the best players in the league, and he's been top 5 the last, counting this year, would be 2 years. Oh, no. He was comparing it as to the point where Damian Lillard hasn't been able to get to, carry his team to a championship with, the pretty good players he had.
Jason Tatum that's a conversation for it, but Jason Tatum had more player success than this dude. I mean, that's a product of his team too, but I mean, as a young player too. And I think
you also got to throw in the fact of the more help Jason Tatum did get. Damian Lillard did have a good team, but he didn't have the good team Jason Tatum got. Playing with Kyrie Irving,
Kyrie Irving was a non-factor outside of them going to the a non-factor, not outside of mine. I mean, that's respectable.
That's respectable. That's very respectable.
When Kyrie went down, he started his role. You know, he's the best player on the team.
But it's still, you know,
Kyrie and they never made the finals. Like I was saying.
But Kyrie playing during the regular season still gets them the right seeding to play certain teams and stuff like that. Which if they played another team, they could have lost. But that's correct though. But to go back, Jaylen Brown, you know, we know how good he is, a defensive player of the year, another defensive player of the year candidate, and Al Horford, all defensive selection. All defensive selection candidate, and then, you know, great shooters like Grant on the bench, Payton Pritchard, all these other guys they got. So Jason Tatum has been blessed to play with a lot of great players, you know, and Dame has had a lot of cool players too, but I wouldn't say the amount that Jason Tatum has had.
Why not? They was comparing David CJ to Stephen Clay. What's up? That though.
I mean, on this path, JT and JB could possibly be as good as Stephen Clay as a duo, not separately, because as I'm gonna say on the better scale, not in comparison to talent, because Clay isn't as talented as we think he is, you know, because he's not that skilled. He can shoot the rock, but other than that, what else can he do? He's not really that much of a good post player. He can't dribble the ball really well. So that's what I'm saying in that play. Okay, they might not reach the greatness terms of those two guys, but in terms of skill, which I should say. So that's that's respectable. You know, they were comparing those two.
Let me get to the problems with Jason Tatum, bro. Against Golden State was probably the biggest one for me. It seems like, and I'm gonna keep this real, bro. It seems like Golden State has his heart. It's just not a good matchup for him. Golden State knows too much about him, and I think that's what the problem is. They know where to be. They know where to be when Jason Tatum has the ball. They know his spots. They know sweet spots. And he hasn't been able to make the adjustment. And great players make adjustments to that. And Jason Tatum isn't the only player that has that problem and faces that adversity against the Warriors. We seen Kevin Durant. You know, it may not be, you know, broadcast all over social media or on these media networks, but for what me and Eddie have seen and from what we know, definitely he has. KD is one of those players as well. You know what I'm saying? Who has an issue with the Golden State Warriors, them knowing how he plays, them knowing.
And the Celtics.
And the Celtics as well. So I really didn't like what I see from Jason Tatum in that game. It was just a lot of doing a lot of the same moves that is getting him swiped. His finishing was bad. His shot selection was terrible. He just looked out of sorts. Defensively, defensively as a whole, the team is not what they were. And I think this is going to come to a point where, as we get later on in the season, they become so offensive oriented that as we get later on in the season, we're going to see that they're going to need Ime Udoka, bro. And he's not coming back. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, they're not what they were. They're looking like like I said when we watching the game live, they're looking like the team that they were when Brad Stevens was there. They're not really worried about defense, mostly offense. You know what I'm saying? But their offense is a lot better than it was when they were when they were with Brad Stevens. But what I'm comparing is they're more so worried about offense like they were when Brad Stevens was there. It's just their offense is a lot better and it's able to overwhelm teams, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Back then that wasn't something that they could do. You know, but now it is. But defense was their calling card and they're not doing it. Hopefully, if Robert Williams and Al Horford get back, maybe they could wake them up on that standpoint. But those are just interior defenders, bro. They're not the vital pieces of the defense. You know, they're not the defensive leaders on the team. They're crucial points. They're crucial players for the team defensively. But they're not the leaders defensively of the team. They don't make that defense
You could
go.
probably make a case for both of them being a defensive leader. I feel like they're the most.
No, a defensive leader is more than just being the best defender on the team. You know that.
I'm saying value-wise, I feel like those two guys, you can argue like what they do don't really show too much up on the stats.
Yeah, I get that, but I would consider even though I don't think much of Marcus Smart, I would consider him a defensive leader more so than Rob Williams and Al Horford, But he wasn't what made the defense run. I think Ime put stuff in his ear and made him say, "Yo, this is your team. Make them do this. Make them do that." That's what Ime came in, and that's what he got the team to do stuff that they weren't doing before. And it's gonna come to a point with that. Joe Mazzulla, he's a really good coach, but I think once the playoffs comes and once the intensity starts to kick up, I gotta really see what he's made of. But go ahead.
The last thing I want to say on this is that these guys they obviously the first seed. They're still going on pace to have one of the best seasons ever, especially in franchise history, also in NBA history. So I hope these guys continue to have the success that they do. The only problem that I generally have with Jason Tatum is just shying away from the big moments, against a team like Golden State. Because if you do that against a team like Golden State, who's not having such a good year, what if it comes down to you got to face them Bucks in that ECF on a big stage, which could be a harder matchup than what they get to the finals. Because what if a team like the Phoenix Suns go back to the finals, or even them Pelican boys, and them boys are good, but they might actually be easier to beat. I ain't gonna say might. They will be easier to beat than the Bucks for the Celtics, or vice versa for the Bucks and the Celtics. So he just gotta calm down in those bright light situations. That's all.
Yeah, man. I don't know. And then it was the game after that against the Clippers, man. You may not think it was a bad performance, but I'm watching the real time, man. Defensively, the man he was just not looking good. Offensively, again, bro, jacking up threes, bro. I don't know, man. Just looking out of sorts, bro. That whole team look out of sorts, bro. And then against the Lakers, bro, why y'all have to come back in the game? Weren't they up 20 in the game, bro? Come on. Defensively, they probably are going to end up, I don't know, but defensively, they steady creeping down the ladder, bro. When the season started, they were they're not the best, but they're right there, Now it's bro, that's over with, bro. I ain't going to lie. Because it's not going to get better, Eddie. Because it's clear it's not going to get better because we see it's getting worse. Unless the players come around and they switch it up, I don't know. But it's clear it's not going to get any better. Adding Rob Williams and Al Horford I don't think that makes the problems better that they have, because it's not their interior defense that's the problem. Of course, not having those guys is important. You need that interior defense, but rebounding is a problem. Those guys will come back and help that.
It may be the IQ for these guys, like the late game IQ and just making a smart decision for these guys. Making. They don't really have too much guys that can actually. I don't think they have a superstar level decision making player. They have good players. Jason Tatum, of course, is a superstar, but his decision making, man, especially with the shots that he takes up, it might be a good shot for him because he's 6'8". But come on, in reality, I mean, yeah, you're a good 3-point shooter. No one's taking that from you, but you're not the best in the league, so you shouldn't be taking some of the shots you take.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know, man. But I
got next?
That's all we got. Yeah, that's all we got. But like I was about to say, man, I just hope that he can get it together for real, bro. I don't know. Is it a game tonight? We probably could cover a game. Probably catch the end of a game or something like that.
Let's see. Let me turn my check real quick.
The Pelicans are playing right now.
Clippers and Suns.
Yeah, that comes on. Every other game is done.
Clippers and Suns started right now. NBA TV.
Clippers and Suns.
This is a fairly even matchup because if their Suns are 16-12, Clippers are 17-13. I mean,
Yeah, I think we might wrap this one up. So, thank y'all for coming. We probably, most likely, we're going to try to go live tomorrow again. Thank y'all for supporting. Keep hitting the like button. Eddie. And I really appreciate all y'all for coming, man. Keep the support up. Keep hitting the like button to get our videos out there in the algorithm. And much respect to everybody who came. And with that being said, I'm Eli.
And I'm Eddie.
And we Game Takes, man. We out.